but it paid off. We're here now. From there on, I think it was towards the end of the year with Life Choices, we had a lot of activities that we were doing. It wasn't just chilling and just eating because they fed us. So it wasn't just that. There was a lot of activities like public speaking. Me, 10 years ago, standing here in front of all these people, I don't think I would have made it. But then we had like programs like that where we were taught to speak in public. There was a lot. Goodness, now my mind is a bit foggy. But so we did all of those things, but then one of them was to get mentors because we're in grade 11, going to matric, and then after that it's varsity. So I got a mentor at Life Choices. I was very lucky. We were given ticket numbers. Whoever, the first number they will call, the person can choose a mentor. I was the first person. And I chose my mentor. It wasn't like just leftover people. I was the one who made the choice. Not in that way. So I made my choice. I chose Priscilla. She was with Argon at the time. I wanted to be a marketing director at that time, inspired by Ezweni Communications on Generations. So she was in marketing, so I'm like, oh, look at that, the stars are aligning. So I chose her, and she was very happy. I was her first mentee as well. She was my first mentor. She's still my mentor till date, since 2013. She wasn't supposed to go that way. So we're supposed to have a mentor from matric until second semester of varsity. But then she was like, what's the point of us breaking up? I don't see, it doesn't make sense. Let's continue with this. I'm like, yeah, I'm also happy here. So let's continue. So 2013, she introduced me to Argon, Dr. Manas and Mase and Mr. Sitai. So I would go there on Fridays first. On Fridays, I would see, this is so nice, better than Generations, actually. Like, I think I would love to work here. So I was very straightforward about my life plan. I used to plan to the T. This is where I want to study. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do for work. So being there and being in that environment just made my vision to be alive. And I'm like, okay, now I have something that's going to push me. Because I didn't have much opportunities. I stay in Guguletu. I study in a school in Gugs, Fezeka. So we don't really get much opportunities, like being part of Life Choices, for example. So I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. And then in December, she's like, oh, our receptionist is going on leave. Would you like to, it's not that busy at the office. Maybe you can work in December. I'm like, I can't even speak English that well. So how am I supposed to answer calls? And also studying in a Xhosa school, everything is in Xhosa. In English is in Xhosa. You ask a question, what does this mean? They give you a translation, not an explanation. They don't define it. So most things I had to learn for myself, watching TV and just Generations, yes. So I had to more, try and get an accent here and there, so I can be able to articulate myself better. So when I was doing that receptionist work, it was nice because my age mates were working at Cotton On. I tried going to Cotton On. They rejected me. And it didn't make sense to me because I was like, I thought I was good at that interview, so what do you mean I'm not taken? So they took my friend. I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's chilled. But then I guess I was supposed to be a receptionist instead of being at Cotton On. So I worked there in December, and I remember this one time, the CEO at the time, he called the phone and he couldn't hear me speak properly. He was so mad. He was so mad. No, not. He was livid. Yeah. He. I know, not you, not Dr. Bapela. So he was very mad, and then he called the receptionist at the time, like, who is at the desk? I couldn't hear a single word she said. I was ready to quit. But I'm like, it's December, what am I going to do at home? So that day I read on Google how to speak better. And then one of the tips was to dream in English. Guess what? My dreams are very dramatic. Very, very dramatic dreams in English. Think in English and all of that. So I had to teach myself. And then, yeah, he didn't really say I was doing well, but he also didn't complain either. So a win is a win. He didn't complain again. So I was like, I guess I'm doing something. So yeah, it's those little lessons that we learn in those kind of experiences. Thereafter, matric, and then varsity, and then Argon was kind enough to say, here's a little girl from Gooks who's been coming here in December, let's fund her. So they funded me for my varsity, for my fees. They paid for my fees. Actually, let's clap. Because it's very difficult to get bursaries even. It's not easy. It's really not easy. So it was really like a blessing for me to get that. I got a mentor. I got bursary, thanks to Life Choices. Honestly, because if it wasn't for me being part of that program, I wouldn't have met Priscilla. I wouldn't have been at Argon. I wouldn't have received all those fees. So I was still doing my reception work in December, but at least at that time I was able to speak better. Yes. Because you get to varsity, you see the bridge between a child who went to Elokshini, the locations, and the child in the suburb schools. You'll hear by the way they speak. Yeah. So when I got to varsity, reception was even better. Reception was even better. You can tell now, okay, this is where, now you will see the difference between the school you went to and where your peers went. So my friends were very raw, and I was very raw when I'm speaking. So I remember there was a presentation that we had to do, and I froze. Not because I didn't know what to say, but because I can hear how it's going to come out in my head, and it's not good. And my tutor kept saying, no, you can start over, I'm like, it's okay. Give me a 0, it's fine. But things like that, and getting those lessons at Life Choices also, those public speaking lessons, very helpful. I remember the time they went there, I think it was last year, Innocent. Was it last year? Yeah, and I was asking, do you guys still have the public speaking program? Because it really, really did help. So after varsity, I'm now chilling with my CEOs, COOs, head of finance on the same table. Thanks to Life Choices, my people. Thank you. Yeah. And yes. I'm a FSCA compliance officer of an investment firm. Thank you.